Welcome to the Wake.Show. As everybody knows, a show needs an intro. This is that intro. I am Fisher, your host, featuring Chris McCarty. We will check in with him shortly. He is with his family. Good morning, Adam, Maribel, Lauren. Hi, everybody. It's time to like and share and invite our friends, and welcome to the Wake.Show. Like I was saying, we got a video from Chris McCarty. They'll be coming here shortly as he's, well, we will see here shortly. And he's got a lot of stuff to handle coming back from Liverpool, and no worries. It was like either today or tomorrow, and tomorrow we got the shame game, so, you know, might as well go ahead and do what you got to do and get it out of the way today. So tomorrow, make sure you join us for the shame game, and that'll be, you know, our weekly romp through the mugshots of Hillsborough County, and, you know, we will judge and then feel bad afterwards for saying horrible things about these people. Danny, good morning. Hi, nice to see you. Oh, yes, right. I got to do my own sharing myself before we get into the news today. So the reason that I put in the body, what TV family would you like to have grown up with? Looking back at all those television shows you watch, what if you had it to do over and you didn't have your family and you could live in a TV family, what would it be? And the reason that I brought that up is because the Brady Bunch house just sold. I don't know if you guys saw that. Hi. Good morning, Nikki. Nikki, how are you doing? I hope you're doing well. I'm still in ketosis. I've slowed down my weight loss, but I'm down 15 pounds in a month, 15 pounds in a month. And I'm feeling pretty good. Nikki, I hope you're doing well yourself. And I'm sitting here just rambling, not even sharing the show like I'm supposed to. So what TV family? I thought about the first one that popped in my head was The Simpsons. And I'm like, well, wait a second. That's just the first TV family that popped in my head because I thought it'd be cool. And I really thought about it. I was like, well, you know, the father did strangle the boy a lot. Maybe that's not the best, you know, great mom trying to keep the family together, but I don't know if that is the best family to grow up in or not. And it's funny, I pulled up a couple lists because I was like, all right, well, we'll see what some of the rankings of the top TV families of all time. Also, there's a bunch of stuff online where you can find out what TV family you belong in. And here we go. We are live. And it's funny because, whoops, I want to share. We are live, and it's funny because the couple lists that I pulled up right there in the beginning are all from like 2011, 12, and 13. So you know what family's on that list that I promise you is probably not going to be on any list today. The Huxtables. So if you could, because that was another thing. Like if it weren't for all the Bill Cosby stuff, then that would have been like probably one of the first ones that popped in my head too. Is the Huxtables. But I think which one was Michael? What's his face? Michael J. Fox. Was that because that wasn't Growing Pains? That was Family Ties. So that I think that's the house. Family Ties. I used to kind of connect with his character, and you're like, well, listen now, I know he was a staunch Republican. It wasn't that I had that kind of politics. There was just something about him and his character that I felt like, you know what it was? I was in love with his sister, right? Was that Mallory? Am I crossing episodes again? So anyway, so we'll start the show off with that today and go from there. How's everybody doing? Let me just slow down for a second. How's everybody doing? I hope you're well. I'm coming off of my my Wednesday night gig, and if it sounds like I have a weak voice today, keeping up. Well, you know, you'd be rich. You'd be rich beyond your Keeping Up with the Kardashians being a part of that one. That's hilarious. Sister. All right, well, I've got a list here in front of me, by the way, the top 10. I think it's top 10 or top 20. Top 10 shows. And it's from TV Guide, but it is back from a couple of years, so it is going to have the Huxtables on there, which is kind of funny. But anyway, so last night was Park and Rec. And a great crowd. One of those nights that you get out there and somebody's on the list right there at the beginning of the gig, and for 4 hours you've got the list is packed. It was one of those nights. It was awesome. But it's just so difficult to then get to bed. The gig's over at midnight, but it isn't until 2:30. The Addams Family loved their house. The Addams Family or the Munsters, both of those. Yeah, the Addams Family would have been a fun one. I get to bed about 2:30, and I had a voiceover audition. I had a voiceover audition this morning, And I was hoping that because sometimes when I'm up late, the next morning I have a nice full sexy what my wife calls the sexy voice. But I didn't. I think that's only if alcohol's involved, and I don't drink Wednesday nights out at Park and Rec anymore. So I didn't have that. So I had a very weak, tired voice this morning, and I spent an hour reading the same things over and over and over again. And now I have nothing left for you. Nikki, she says, I'm good. Thanks. I'm only down 7 pounds. LOL. I've struggled some days. I'm sick of eggs in the morning. Today I had a couple pieces of bacon, a teaspoon of peanut butter, and a glass of unsweetened almond milk. I'm tired of eggs and meat. I need to stop whining. No, Nikki, it's okay. I understand. This is not you and I both know that the keto diet is not an easy diet. So whine away. It hasn't been easy for me. It's not been easy for my wife who's doing it as well. She's in deep ketosis and has been her weight hasn't dropped in 2 weeks. Like she was where I was, a couple weeks ago. Steve, how you doing, buddy? She did. I don't know if Nikki, have you tried those fat bombs yet? She finally. Oh no, it's not easy. Because I've heard about the two things going into keto, the keto diet that you'll hear about if you ever explore it, is butter coffee or bulletproof coffee or caveman coffee, and these fat bombs. Because these things are both sweet and delicious, and there's not a lot of sweetness, that comes with the keto diet. Try these. All right, hold on, I'll click on it here in a second. Been a while. Yes, it is. I'm glad you've been slammed good. All right, so she finally made these fat bombs, and I'm not sure exactly what it is. It's just simple. Oh, try these. All right, I'm going to click on it a second. Hold on, Maribel. You guys can click on it too. My favorite holiday photos. And so these are, keto. Keto salads, feeling like crap on keto for substitutes, keto at a gas station. Keto at a gas station. Just grab the hard-boiled eggs that they have ready to go. Well, thank you so much. I'm going to like this group. Thank you. I appreciate that. And now let's get back to the show. So anyway, these the fat bombs are really, she made them for the first time yesterday. You throw them in the freezer, pull them out. I'm not sure what's in them, but I know there's some I know they're sweet. It tastes like eating cookie dough. That's what it tastes like eating. So that was definitely a treat on this thing. Yes, I'm okay. We haven't talked to Eric in a while to have him on the show. And I think because I think he's going to yell at me. That's why I haven't called him. It's because my weight hasn't dropped anymore. I'm sitting at 15 pounds, which is awesome. At 15 pounds in a month, who's going to complain about that? Who's going to complain about losing 15 pounds in a month? I guess it sounds like I'm trying to a little bit. Let's get back to this. All right, so what TV family would you like to grow up in? Let's turn to a TV Guide, as they once ranked the greatest TV families of all time. Did I try one? I did, honey. I did this morning, and it was amazing. It was exactly what we've needed, is a little bit of sweetness. That and the buns that you made, the rolls that you made. All right, so number 10, the Waltons. The Depression couldn't get them down up on Walton's Mountain, nor could World War II. Creator Earl Hamner wove memories of his own rural upbringing into the lives of these close-knit Virginians. Good night, John Boy. Are you guys old enough? You guys watch this growing up too, the Waltons? It was part of I remember it vividly, and it was part of my childhood, but it wasn't one of those things that I feel like was, if somebody brings up the Waltons, like, oh my gosh, yeah, the Waltons, you remember that episode of Michael Landon, blah, 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 blah. It was just on. One of those. Fresh Prince. Nice, Steve. That'd be a great one. That'd be a great one to grow up. What was the judge's name? What was his uncle's name? Uncle. I forget his name. Good one. Happy Days is another one. A TV show that you would like to have grown up on. Happy Days. That'd be a good one. All right, the Adamses, whoever said Adams family earlier, Gomez, Marticia, and they're all together Ookie gang, who started out as Charles Adams New Yorker drawings. Oh, I didn't even know that. Didn't leave us in the lurch, providing the design for cartoonish clans to come, like the Flintstones and the Simpsons. The Cleavers, Leave It to Beaver, the Cleavers. Yeah, I reruns when I was a kid. That was before my time, but I do remember watching it as a kid. And the weird thing about Leave It to Beaver to me is when you're having conversations with friends or family members, and they're in that mode of things were better back then, and then they bring up Leave It to Beaver. And you're like, that's a television. Yeah, but still, no, it was a television show. There was no Leave It to Beaver houses around the country. There might have been some that were pretending to be that when guests were over, but as they left, they devolved into whatever family unit they naturally were. The Keatons, parents were cool, kids were intelligent. So that was, okay, that's Family Ties, right? The Keatons, that's the what I'm talking about. Yeah, I love the Keatons. That would have to be my family except for, because Mallory was his sister, right? So I wouldn't be able to fall in like with my sister, Mallory. I'd have to pick it up. What show was Alyssa Milano on? Would we know her from back then? When we were kids? For those of you my age. Tool Time Family. Oh, that'd be so awesome too. There's a lot of good TV families. To be part of the Tool Time Family. Yeah, that'd have been a good one. Anybody thinking The Simpsons? No? Who's the Boss? Good one. Monica. Who's the Bods? Who's the Boss? The Cleavers, number 8 on the list, despite the surname Ward, June, and Sons Wally and Theodore, a.k.a. the Beaver, could never be cleaved. We don't have to be a suck-up like Eddie Haskell to pay them a compliment. As nuclear families go, they were the bomb. Number 7, the Ewings. Oh, Dallas. My parents watched it. I probably caught some of it in a tertiary kind of a way, but it was never that big. The Dallas television show Dallas. We hope we don't see ourselves in these backstabbing, money-grabbing kinfolk, but we still love watching them mistreat each other, whether it's JR's, R.I.P., getting shot or supposedly deceased. Man, and for those of you that got some years behind you too, do you remember how that was the biggest thing in the world? The biggest thing in the country? Because you only had a handful of networks back then. We're all watching the same shows. Who shot JR? Who shot JR? And for those of you younger, like, I don't know what you're talking about, buddy. The Connors. Roseanne and Dan weren't always the greatest parental role models. For example, they discovered their old pot stash and smoked it, and that's why we loved them. And their struggle to scrape by, we saw ourselves, at least until they won the lottery. Obviously, this is an older list. 90210, I would not have wanted to bet on that show, Nikki. You can have that one. The Barones. Oh, the Everybody Loves Raymond. No, I wouldn't want to be a part of that family, too. Raymond's wife was too much of a... what's the word? She was a good wife who was making sure that Raymond was trying to constantly working to do the best he could as a man. But that mom, even though she's one of the greatest characters, I can't remember her name now, his mom, one of the greatest characters on television, I could never have that as a mom. She was hilarious, but I could never have that as a mom. Speaking of which, if you guys have a minute or two today, if you're in the prayers / positive thoughts kind of realm, send out some prayers / positive thoughts for my family. If you don't mind me being a little selfish here, for my family, my mom is going to get some more testing on Saturday. She had, I think I told you guys a couple months ago, she had a lumpectomy. Going back, they're looking for something. So, we don't know many details, and that's why there's a test this Saturday. But for those of you like I said, positive thoughts and prayers, go ahead and send a couple of those these ways if you can spare any. The Bunkers. We can't choose our relatives, so sometimes we get a meathead like Mike and a dingbat like Edith or a bigot like Archie. The best family therapy is laughter, and we got a bunker full from Norman Lear's groundbreaking social satire. Yeah, I don't know what the criteria is, how they're ranking these things. I don't think they're ranking them as the television shows or television families you'd most want to be a part of. Probably has to do the most impactful television families in the history of television, and The Bunker's definitely up there. Number 3, The Sopranos. Anybody want it? If you had it to do over with a different family, would you like to be a part of that family? Would that be fun? Thank you, Nikki. Thank you, Susan. Tony and his families, the one at home and the one at work, prove that blood is thicker than water. Or marinara sauce. We always whack the ones we love right up to the final shot. Pass the onion rings and forget about it. The number 3 family on this list. Number 2. Good point, Steve. Number 2, the Huxtables. Which would probably not be on any list now, right? Or do you still have to intellectually include the Huxtables and you put it in the time frame before we knew everything we knew about Bill Cosby? from its first episodes. Remember the funeral for Rudy's Goldfish? Classic. Bill Cosby's Brooklyn Heights clan brought family comedy in living color. Cliff, Claire, and their 5 kids saved sitcom and defined must-see TV. They surely did. And number 1 on this list is the Brady Bunch. Yes. Hey, by the way, Steve, if you're interested, if you're a big fan of The Sopranos, coming up in August, the first Monday in August, I'll give you the exact date. I'll be doing a themed Sopranos night. Excuse me, it's at the Chickaboom Room, Kelly's Chickaboom Room. And that's Monday, August 6th, if you're interested. They'll be starting at 7 o'clock. It'll be 7 to 8:30, and it'll be all Sopranos themed. Family Guy, he says, who wouldn't want a talking dog? Well, I told you that's the first. No, the Simpsons are the first ones that popped in my head. The Simpsons are the first ones that popped in my head. And then I just pictured Homer choking me. And I was like, well, that's probably not the family I want to be in. If I'm in the Family Guy family, well, I mean, that's just, yeah, it's chaos balanced out by a talking dog. You're right, Steve. It'll be worth it just for the talking dog. Let's see here. I want to check my messenger because I know that Chris is supposed to be sending me a video, and I hope it gets it to me before the end of the show, because I don't know if the show's going to go an hour. I'm pretty certain the show's not going to go an hour today. After last night at a park and rec, getting home, getting to bed at 2:30, back up at 6:30. I don't have it in me. But you know what? Can I share with you guys something? For those of you that work hard for a living, especially. So the voiceover audition, or the voiceover I was doing this morning, was for this a video that has to do with construction, this construction company, right? And I'm sitting there, and I've already done a read for this once. I've already done this once, and we're doing a retake, right? So we're going over it again. I'm just getting weaker, and my voice is getting weaker and weaker, and I'm apologizing to the engineer, like, man, I'm really sorry that I'm so tired today that I can't read right, and my voice just, it isn't there. So we get through it, and we spend an hour over, an hour and a half. And at the end, I'm exhausted, right? This is not relatable at all. I should not have shared this to you. It was exhausting to sit in a chair and speak for an hour and a half. And then I looked down at the copy that I was reading and realized that it's for construction industry. The construction industry, who for 8 hours a day, 9 hours a day, 10 hours a day, are out in this Florida heat, huffing and puffing. And I'm sitting in a chair in an air-conditioned room going, oh, man, it's not easy to read these lines after a night of being up too late. So ladies and gentlemen, the greatest TV family of all time, according to TV Guide, is the Brady Bunch, which leads us to here. The house featured in the Brady Bunch hits the market for $1.885 million. And there it is. I just have to throw this out there. I know it's part of my generation, and I feel like anybody that's my age is nuts over the Brady Bunch. The Brady Bunch never really connected with me. I was like, it was okay. Like, it was all right. I could watch the show, but it never really, I like the Partridge Family better. And I don't know if it was because of the singing or what it was, but there was something about the Partridge Family that I liked better than the Brady Bunch, which I'm sure was, a discussion after debate in elementary school back in 1979. So the studio home used to depict the exterior of the Brady family home on the Brady Bunch is up for sale, $1.885. The house is featured in the opening and closing scenes. Records show that George and Violet McAllister bought the 2-bedroom, 3-bathroom home in the Studio City neighborhood of Los Angeles back in 1973 for $61,000. They bought that house in 73 for $61,000. Steve says, Marcia better come with that house. Though the home's exterior remains the same, no kidding, as what appeared on the show from 69 to 74, the interior scenes for the Brady Bunch were filmed in a studio. Still, however, Carswell told the Times the house is a postcard of exactly what homes looked like in the 1970s. Some of its features include a rock wall fireplace, wood-paneled walls, and floral wallpaper. Carswell says the home attracts 30 to 50 visitors a day. Its seller said it'll give... What was it? What house that just went on sale recently or last year? The same thing where there's 50... What is... Oh, the family... The Bob Saget show. That Full House. The Full House house was up for sale last year and somebody bought it. And I guess... So the same thing. People stop. They know where it is. 50 people a day stop by the house, take pictures in front of it. The Full House house. But I guess that... somebody changed the door color on it, if I remember the story correctly. And so when the guy bought the house, the first thing they did was change the door color back. And the last I read, which it's been a year, he was planning, I believe, into turning it like into a Airbnb or a bed and breakfast or, something you'd stay in or something like that. Oh, yeah. Sharon's like, I just want new kitchen cabinets. Who will have the money for a 2-bedroom house? Yeah. You don't have 1.88 to buy the old Brady Bunch house? And that's that. And all right. So I saw something in the paper today I wanted to run by you guys for a discussion. Now that we've had enough fun with the what TV family would you like to have grown up in? We've all made our final decisions yet. I've tossed around a couple of things. I guess my final decision then. Oh, let me see. Oh, I just, because that is weird. If it's 2 bedrooms, 3 bath, I might have said it backwards. Remember, don't always trust me. Oh, no, that wasn't the story. Hold on. Hold, please. Is this it? I think I've already messed it up. I'm sorry. Yeah, you'll have to look it up yourself. Sorry about that. I already closed it out. Hey, Alexander, how are you? How's everything in Russia? So does this mean you and I are colluding now, Alexander? I never want people taking pictures in front of my house. Yeah, you'd have to sell the house. You'd probably think it would be cool to own the Brady Bunch house or the Full House or whatever until you realize there's 50 people a day that are out in front of your house taking pictures. And you're like, oh, I'm going to turn this into a bed and breakfast. Have some fun with it. Good, Alexander. It's good to hear. Doing all right. I'm hanging a little tired today, but I'm hanging in there. All right, so I got something to run by you guys. One of the trends, a trend that's out there now is cities, municipalities, especially in coastal towns and stuff like that, are banning the use of straws. So in a lot of these restaurants now here in the Bay Area, or I shouldn't say a lot, but there's more and more and more, especially if you're out of the beaches, you will not get a plastic straw with your drink. You have to ask for a straw. And I'm assuming, and I would imagine those straws are probably paper or something like that. My favorite family is the Addams family. They're probably the family that most of our families relate to the most, them or the Simpsons. But so there's an article in the paper. We asked readers for tips on how to cut down on plastics. And here are 24 ideas they gave us, and this is coming from TampaBay.com, the Tampa Bay Times. Is this something that's in the front of your is this a concern to you right now, or when you hear the city of St. Petersburg might ban plastic straws, you're like, where the hell did that come from? Or do you go, all right, good, it's a great idea. These things are wasteful. We see now that we have 100 million square mile or whatever the hell that thing is, 1 million square mile. Trash island, floating around the Pacific Ocean. I feel like a bad human. I feel like a bad citizen because it doesn't register at all. I'm like, we're out at the beach and I'm getting a drink. I'm like, where's my damn straw? And then I realize, oh yeah, you just want to kill sea life. That's all you want to do. We are recycling at home, just like most people are. We separate, but I'm not crazy about it. I'm not like overly insane. So it's partly my fault too. Of course it is. So what are some things people are doing around the Bay Area too? So my question is this: are you guys doing anything besides the your recycling bin that you have that goes into the recycling trash can that gets picked up once every 2 weeks? Are there other things that you have been have changed or you're doing differently? So here we go. Here's a sample of some of the things they got back. Use parchment paper for wrapping meat, covering food, baking, and freezer wrap. So instead of saran wrap, using parchment paper, then I guess a piece of tape. When eating out, take your own glass or reusable doggy bag container. Okay, I'm just going to keep reading. Take your own glass to a restaurant just to... Okay. My thrifty dad would cover his bowls. Let me just go ahead and do this here so you guys can see it. You can read along as well. My thrifty dad would cover his bowls of leftovers with a small lunch plate instead of plastic wrap. Okay, that's fine. You're eating it the next day. That'll get it done. And you have to reuse that same plate. Or a small lunch plate, I'm sorry, so it's not a plastic or a paper plate. When I go to a coffee shop, I always get my coffee in a ceramic mug. You just have to ask for it. If it's not a to-go drink, why not use reusable mugs? Safe on both paper and plastic. Okay, I just hit on the first one that I will consider. If I'm at if I'm going through if I'm at a Starbucks, which is okay, twice a year that I'm inside a Starbucks, if that, I'll ask if I can get into ceramic. I didn't know that. That's something I could implement. I feel good about implementing. Nikki, yeah, not going to happen. I'm not taking my own glass. Ha ha ha. Yeah, I think about some of the people in my life. They're not taking glasses to the restaurants. If the restaurant has a nice glass or a mug, they're taking that home. That nice knife, it's going to go with it. I turn the tiny cat bags into grocery bags. Buy some bamboo utensils to use in place of disposables. Okay. All right. So if you're going to have some kind of a party, I guess you can buy bamboo utensils instead of plastic utensils. I have a feeling the bamboo is probably a little bit more expensive, but maybe it's worth it. If I bring my own cup, do I get a discount for not using their cups, straw, and dishwasher? That's right. Oh, we just, there's a new pizza place, if you guys are St. Pete people, in downtown St. Pete. It's called Oak and something, Oak and something. Damn it. It was their first week this past week, their grand opening. But it's one of those places where you give them an ID and your card, and then they come back with a wristband, and then you can go up to the taps. They have all kinds of taps there. You go up to the taps. I guess wave your wrist in front of it because I wasn't drinking beer. You wave your little wristband there and put your mug up, and it charges you by the ounce. So this thing's $1 an ounce or 50 cents an ounce or whatever. Bring your own cup to that one. I went to a restaurant where they don't offer plastic straws. I asked for one, and it was paper. It felt weird. Stuck to my lips, LOL. I don't like them. Plastic straws can be recycled. Well, they might, yeah, but they're not. They end up on the floor. They end up being carried away by the seagulls. And you're right, paper straws are horrible. Almost useless. The real answer to drinking straws, just sip from the container, for crying out loud. Oh, settle down, William Gray. There's no reason to yell at us. The real answer to drinking straws, just sip from the container. Man, you're right. I guess I don't trust anybody in the hospitality industry to clean those dishes the way they're supposed. But, I mean, I'm not that clean of a person. I don't have OCD. So, I mean, in theory, I'm the kind of guy that would see lipsticks stuff on the rim and just turn the glass the other way. So I'm not complaining too much. Bar soap, bar soap, bar soap. No plastic soap bottles. That is a good one. That is a good one. We are a, whatever the liquid soap kind of a family. We got like she makes sure that she buys them when they're on sale. And so we've got like a good half dozen or a dozen at any given time because she's, taking advantage of sales. But you're right. We just pour all the soap out and then just throw those things away. I mean, put them in recycling. I save egg cartons. When I go to the local market, I give them to the farmers that sell eggs. Nice. Use a search engine to find all the recycle odd things such as toothpaste tubes, toothbrushes, hairbrushes, and other plastics. Big and small, hard and soft. It is amazing what could be done. Bring your own garment bag and hangers to the dry cleaners. Okay. Some online merchants now use puffed corn nuggets when shipping fragile items. I love dumping those things in my flower bed and watching them biodegrade. All right, so instead of those little plastic popcorn things, you can get puffed corn nuggets that are actually biodegradable. Nice, Claudia. The Committed. Fishing nets are a major contributor to plastic pollution in our areas. I've stopped eating any fish caught in nets. Okay, well, now we're getting into the activism. Every time I shop, I say to the checkout person, no plastic, please. And I say it loud enough that other people in the line can hear me. No reason to be pretentious. All right? Be the change in the world you want to be, and just let everything play out the way it's supposed to, the way it's going to. I'm a bad citizen on this one, too, because I like the plastic bags for my lunch. So the plastic bags that come home on a Sunday end up being spread out throughout the week and lunches. But I guess what I should do is go ahead and get a lunch box or something of the sort. And then because we have the those bags, the actual cloth bags or canvas bags, whatever they are. I rinse and reuse food storage. Oh, no. I rinse and reuse food storage bags, all of them, unless they contain chicken. Good for you, Alice. Not doing it. Compost food waste in a stainless steel container found at a thrift store. Take the food waste to a community garden or your own compost pile and quit buying compost in a plastic bag. Okay. All right. For a month, I've practiced no bags, please. I refuse to accept any bag, whether paper, plastic, cloth, or composition. I didn't know it was going to turn into anti-bags no matter what kind of bag it is. You're right. It's good for poop scooping, too, Sharon. These are the people you go to dinner with, and they spend 20 minutes grilling the server over the conditions the chicken they're about to eat was raised in. Stop putting home delivery newspapers in plastic bags unless it's raining. Well, that's too much to ask for, Don. Give your newspaper bags to neighbors who own dogs. Good one, Tom. How often do you open a package of food which is packaged by weight, not volume, only to discover your package is mostly empty? Purchase a plastic bottle of something as simple as aspirin, and the package is 2 to 3 times the necessary. Ooh, I know what Russ is talking about here, but for those of you that have been ordering stuff online, it's even worse. You're getting stuff from Amazon, and you're right. You'll get a pair of you order a pair of glasses, and for some reason it comes in a box that's this big. Yeah. Recycling needs to be taught in every school. Put a 5-cent charge on all plastic bottles, returnable for cash. Tell businesses you frequent that you would patronize them more if they are clearly making an effort to reduce waste and use less single-use plastic. So, I asked at the beginning of this, are you guys doing anything? Are you in a place where you're going out of your way to downsize anything, downsize your waste? Go out of your way to put plastics where they're supposed to, not use plastics when you're out and stuff like that? Or are you like me where you're kind of in the beginning of the conversation of that because it seems to be in the news a lot over the past year or so? We'll not win this war on our oceans until we have won it on land. To that end, pick up plastic. That message needs to be instilled in everyone, and especially in the younger generations. If we all stooped to pick up one piece a day before it reaches the sea, we might have a chance to win this fight. That's a good one. It's a tough one. Will you reach down and pick up trash that's not yours randomly, or do you step around it? Or it depends on what it is. If it's looks like something that's not going to stick to you and you have to wash your hands, you'll pick it up and throw it away. Or otherwise, you just walk around it. Another liberal false... Oh, well, it took to the end, but we're getting into some politics. Another liberal false alarm and hey, look at me moment. It's a great talking point, but nothing ever gets done. So my solution is stop littering and live your life. I'm sorry I even read that last one. Because, no, I'm not sorry. Not sorry. Because we have to remember there are still so many people out there that see the world in a very, very, very narrow way. And everything is left wing, right wing. Everything is a liberal conservative. Everything is Extreme. Even when it comes to just picking up some trash, it's got to turn into politics. All right, well, let's see here. I don't have the video yet from Chris, and I don't have anything else to talk about today. I wanted to talk about television a little bit, and I was curious on where you guys in this whole plastic conversation is, or are you a little bit more like that last person, like, all right, this is just a segment of our population who's getting, there's just another, they're pushing for stuff that's not going to make a difference in the end. To pass laws in all these cities, go, no more plastic straws, is like peeing on a fire. It's going to make you people feel good for 1 minute that we're actually doing something in our community, and in the end, we still have a million square mile trash heap out in the middle of the Pacific Ocean. Sharon, back when I was little, soda bottles and milk bottles were glass, and you did get money back for turning them in. Yeah, not in Florida. You remember, well, when I was little anyway, there was only certain states that would do it. So if you collected cans and bottles, you had to wait till you were in one of those states to turn them in to get your nickel back, or your dime back. Man. All right. Well, thanks so much for hanging out with me again today, the Wake.Show. As you guys know, we haven't talked about it in a week because, like I thought, we were already going to have the details. There are going to be some changes happening to the Wake.Show, an evolution, and we're all very excited about it. We just don't know the details yet, so we haven't shared them. But as soon as we nail those, I hope it's by tomorrow. I hope we can make some kind of announcement by tomorrow. But I'm not 100% confident that it's going to happen. Hi, Schreiner. Nice to see you, man. It's a short one today. Unless you throw something in the comment section in the next 30 seconds that gets me going for the next however many minutes, I'm going to wrap this bad boy up. When you lived in New York. Yeah, I remember when we go to visit the family in New York, that's when they would be collecting all the bottles. So it was like New York, Vermont, Connecticut, whatever. I remember all the little states being on the cans or the bottles of where you could turn these in and get some money. But there's no place like that anymore, right? I mean, you turn your stuff by the weight, but there's no getting a nickel back or a dime back for your glass bottles anymore. I don't think so. It doesn't sound very efficient. All right, is that? Everybody good? I'm going to go take a nap. Get ready for trivia tonight. And I'm just kidding. I really can't take a nap now. There's actually a lot of work to do as soon as I turn this thing off. I'd like to take a nap, but there's still too much work to do. So you enjoy the rest of your lunch. Chris will be back on tomorrow. And like I said, he said he was going to send me a video during the show. And I don't know if it's one of those things where if he sent it through Messenger, it was too big or something like that and didn't come through. But I do not. Oh, wait. No, I don't have anything from him. So, all right. Just recycling free. Thank you, everybody. Have a great day. I'll be out in Masteries tonight. If you guys want to do some trivia, come out and check that out. Blind Pass, St. Pete Beach. And that'll be starting at 7 o'clock, 7 till about 8:30 tonight. And then we'll see you tomorrow for a Friday show. McCarty will be back, and we will get to the shame game then. Have a great day.